All right. Well, hello, visionaries, and welcome. I'm super excited to chat with Allison today. And she's going to share a little bit about her journey through the certification program. She's now in level 3. She's also been doing the radical transformation program. And so I just want to hand it off to you, and you can share anything about your journey, learning you're a manifester, and about your experience through the certification. So,
All right. Thank you, Raquel. So yeah, it is one of those things. Okay, and I have to say this right now.
yeah,
It's 234. So I
love it.
started seeing the number 34 nonstop a couple of years ago. So I wasn't planning on that being the case to say that, but I started seeing that, and I would have days where I would see it like repeatedly, and I was never looking for it, and it got to be to the point where I knew it was something. Like I knew it wasn't just happenstance, it wasn't by chance, and I started. I just it felt like it was just a like a little nudge, like a little wink, like you're on the right track. Like that's all I take it to be. But it blows my mind that it's still so fun when I see it. It's been happening now a lot, and it's still so fun to see it. So anyway, um, yeah. So I tell people that I worked for 20 years for the state health department in Iowa, where I live, and I wasn't really looking for anything else. I had really kind of come to the realization that I was probably going to just retire there. It gave our family a really great lifestyle, and I liked the work that I did. Um, I had previously left for like 1 week, but so I knew, but I just kind of resolved to the fact that, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. And I started practicing like a morning self care routine where I really was tuning in, and I would go to a sauna that I have in my house for like 2 hours every morning. And I would pray and meditate and sing and journal and just do whatever came to me. And so after I started doing that, I first found a coaching program, like a health coaching program, that just literally fell into my lap. Like I was reading a magazine one day and found this coaching program, and I just knew instantly I was supposed to do it. And it didn't make sense in my mind, and I didn't know human design at this point, but in my head it made no sense. But I just knew I was supposed to. And luckily, I have a very supportive husband who said, "Sure, go for it." So I did that, and then I started coaching people on the side. So I'm a mom of two kids. Well, it was one at the time, but I have two young children now. But I was a working mom with a young child, and I started coaching on the side. And then after I finished that program and I was coaching, I just in passing heard of human design, and it was one of those things that just sparked right away. And I'd been introduced over the coaching program to tons of different like tools and modalities and things like that, so it wasn't like I just jumped on everything that I heard about. Like I'd heard a lot of things, but
Mm.
then I heard human design, and something just sparked within me, and I knew I was meant to do something with it. And so I ran my human design, and I was a projector, or so I thought.
Mhm.
And I was so excited to be a projector. I was like, "Oh, my life makes so much sense now. Now that I'm a projector, this all comes together for me." Well, then I don't know if it was when I met you, I
Mhm.
started looking at different certification programs and trying to decide who I wanted to study with. And you and I started connecting. And somewhere in there, I found out I was a manifester, and I was like devastated. I was so distraught.
All the projectors
Um,
were, like, out there going, "You're nuts!"
I know. Well, now that I'm leaning into becoming a manifester, it feels good. But for when I first found out, I was seriously completely distraught. But then I started learning through you and doing in your coaching program and your certification program, and again, all the while working full time, working part time on the side, and studying this, and really didn't have any intention of leaving my job, but COVID happened, and we all know that. And I was working, as I said, as a nurse with our state health department, and the job became very demanding. And I just knew that, well, as people know, as a manifester, I don't have the energy to work 7 days a week, which is what I was doing for about 4 months. We were working 7 days a week. And I didn't have the energy to do it and serve my family and really be the mom that I needed to be. And then our daughter was starting kindergarten. It was online learning. And we just, it was nearly impossible. I was going to have to be away from the house, and it just became impossible. And so I, um, just kept feeling this pull of like, you need to quit your job. And I was like, this makes no sense whatsoever. I had great job, great benefits, great pay, and I didn't have anything solid lined up on the side or anywhere. But I started living according to my strategy and authority, and I knew that I needed to quit. And so I think that's really the biggest thing for me is finding out that I was a manifester um, after the initial shock and devastation.
Mhm.
It really became so incredibly empowering for me because it was like, oh, this is why, even though I don't have loads of excess energy, the work that I was doing was, you know, pretty, I don't want to say like I was a cog in a wheel. It wasn't really that, but there was no place for me to initiate or to, bring about like new ideas and new things. And so there wasn't any room for that. And so I think just naturally I was drawn to wanting to do that on the side. And that's probably why I was studying things and looking for like coaching opportunities and creating programs and things like that.
Mhm.
And so when I knew that I was supposed to leave just recently, the fall of 2020, um, it it just felt like, okay, I'm a manifestor. I can do this. And so I did it, and here I am.
So powerful. And yeah, manifestors and projectors, they both don't have sacral energy, so you're going to have that similarity. And then we started to realize some of the things in your chart that made you feel like you were a projector. But once you finally did start that slow study of like, okay, going through each type and going through
Mhm.
places where you weren't allowing yourself to fully be the power of the manifester, which is
Right.
what I see the most with manifestors is they they've been told to stuff it down because
Hmm.
their aura has so much impact, so everybody's like whoa whoa whoa, so they
Yeah.
just kind of like let themselves shut down a little bit. And so the joy for me has been watching you like kind of step out and be like,
Yes.
the clarity and like initiate and step into that power. So a lot of inspiration has happened
Hmm.
since you've left your job. So how
Yes.
has that kind of been like, so tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So like kind of what I'm working on or how the inspiration as far
Yeah,
as
so so what kind of things are starting to manifest for you since leaving your job? Because that was scary,
oh
right?
gosh, it's the
Yeah,
scariest thing I've ever done.
yeah, so
Yes.
scary.
Well, so I'll back up to in class. We have such a wonderful community, such a wonderful class. But I am a 2-4 profile. I'm a hermit. I also have the 40-37, the loneliness, friendliness.
Mhm.
And so I am not the person that well, I'll just say this. I'm not your person that's out friending everybody on social media. I actually took a year off of social media, but for some reason, I friended Melissa from our class and pretty early on. And I honestly had no idea why I did that. But we scheduled a time to talk, which again is not really my thing. And we talked like we had known each other our entire lives, and we still do to this day. And so, as she was telling me about her journey and how she happened upon human design and how she left corporate, and um, I, so we ended up deciding that we would partner in business together. And so we do have a business together. It's called Guided Life by Design. And we are building a coaching program related to human design. And we have essentially two key areas right now. Melissa works with families and teaches them through human design, and then I work in wellness because that's my background.
Mhm.
So I have a program right now called Wellness by Design, and it's like we use the foundation of the program is human design, and then we layer in my other education, which is the food we eat and the food of life. So that's kind of, and it all comes together. And I will be applying the PHS, but I'm still in that right now. And so it's really fun. I'm only in my second group, and everybody so far is absolutely loving it
That is
and
so
like
exciting.
really having phenomenal success.
Yeah. So, and just, just to say, like, the reason I call it the creative coaching certification for the human design specialist is because of this. Like, I really want to encourage everybody to bring it forward in a unique way because we're all unique. We're all designed to be unique,
Hmm.
just to take it out and then homogenize the system to, like, okay, here's the chart readings, here's the this, here's the that. Doesn't really make sense to me. So I love how you guys came together. You recognized her, then,
Yes.
you were able to help her initiate, and that is so exciting to watch the 2 of you guys and really birth something. They're gonna do something amazing, by the way. I mean, they're already doing amazing stuff, but I think everyone in this group is gonna do something so huge and amazing because,
Yes.
first of all, I feel that the time is now. We need human design. We need it new. It needs to mutate, and we need to bring it forward out to the world before 2027. And so it's so fun to watch everybody with their creative expressions of how they're going to bring forward the information. So it's really exciting. The other thing that's really fun watching you is how you and I are, I'm alike. You and I are alike in this, and that, like, we had everybody's charts up on the walls when
Oh
we were
yeah.
studying. Like, I had all these diagrams. My wall was like completely covered. So I loved
Hmm.
when you were saying,
Exactly what mine looks like.
yeah, so share a little bit about your family and their design. I love hearing your stories about your kids, like, living their
Uh,
design. It's, like, my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much.
So yes, so I have a husband who's quite a bit older than me. I think we have that in common as well. And he's a manifesting generator, and he is a 6-2 profile, and he's learning his design. We talk about it, but I think the best part of the design in our household has to come from my 5-year-old, who is a girl named Millie, and she is a generator, and she is a six. Oh gosh, now I can't think about it. She's a 6-4 profile maybe. Um, but yes, so she tells me now all of the time. She's constantly referring to her design or my design in our house. Mom, if your design doesn't tell you to do that, why are you doing it? Or my design is telling me to eat this way, because she's a nervous eater when it comes to that. So she's constantly using human design in the house to kind of run the show or to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So she's super fun. But it is so nice. And then I have almost 2-year old, Gus, who he is a generator as well. And he is a 2-4 profile as well. And he is, of course, still really little, but it's already been fun. Oh, and the PHS stuff has been so fascinating to learn with him, because even at a young age, before he's really able to communicate and express, he's very tactile, and he's always about feeling, and that's part of his PHS. And then he's got the like 360 channel, and so it's interesting just to watch him and his relationship, how he started eating differently than Millie started eating.
Mhm,
So we're definitely starting to apply that with our children. He pulses on and off with his mood a lot. And yeah, and so in our household, that's one thing. So my poor husband is the only undefined emotional, and we are all emotional. And that poor guy, he feels it. He feels it so
that's
much. And with that little guy, with our Gus pulsing on and off, and Brett undefined emotionally, and it can just be a little bit crazy. But we constantly come back to our design and giving each other grace and learning to lean into to our designs and living the way we're all meant to live and working together. And so far, it's still working out. So
So beautiful. Yeah, and I do think that as more people are raising their children this way, we're going to start seeing the results, as they get older and the
Yeah.
freedom that they have knowing who they truly are. So, I can't wait to
Yes.
watch that unfold. I know for me, and I'm sure everybody who's learned their design when they were older, wish that somebody had had that insight
Yes.
while they were growing up, right?
Yes.
Would have saved a lot of trouble.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, thank you so much for sharing your experience and their in your journey throughout the certification and throughout your process. And it's been such a joy to watch. Is there anything else you want to leave with or anything else you want to say? I always love to put notes and stuff in the description for people if you guys want to know more about what Allison's up to. You can find out more. I'll put some notes in the description. But is there anything else you want to say?
Well, I just want to say that I honestly didn't know why I was led to you for human design. I mean, there wasn't, it felt so right. And I absolutely know that the universe was looking out for me because it has been such a joy and an honor learning from you and learning from the group that we're in. It really has been, people use this term loosely, but it has been completely life changing for me, obviously. And so I couldn't be more grateful.
Mm. Thank you so much. Wow. I felt the impact of that. Thank you so
It's
much for
big.
that.
Thank
It
you.
really, I do have to say, this is a really magical group and it's a really magical experience. Partly, we're all in 2020 together. So we are all going through the lockdown. And I think one of the best things you can do when the world's falling apart is to go inside and study and learn and self actualize rather than get caught up in all of the crazy stuff that's happening. And so we
Yeah.
found this incredible group and we found this incredible time together and it's been so magical. And it also is, just the beauty of everyone who came together and then their energy and what they bring, what you guys are bringing forward. And so it really has been this collaborative, co-creative, magical experience. So yeah, it's pretty divine.
I would agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Raquel.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.